Hi everyone, Charles Whitty here on a Tuesday afternoon. Well, about for the next month or so, I'm going to be busy with some other things, and so I thought I'd take some of these lesser stories and just sort of let you know that they're there, and if you want to go read more about it, you can do that. So I'm going to group a bunch of things together here. All right, so the first thing we have is, you could look at the picture there. This is from February 2018. And of course, after the video came out with the Pope withdrawing his hand, time and time again, this picture here is circulating. And the only thing I'd like to say about this is, this never seemed to be an issue up until now. So I can't ever remember anything being brought up about him not wanting his ring kissed. So I sort of assume that he's changed his mind about this. In other words, he used to allow it and he doesn't anymore for whatever reason. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next story. All right, so we have a French archbishop who was quote-unquote delighted to participate in a dedication of a mosque in some French town. Well, I wonder if there's ever been like an imam, I think it's pronounced, that has said the same thing about a new Catholic church, it may be true. I don't know. All right, we're going to move on. Okay, so here we have a leading Benedictine nun in Germany calls for women's priests. I got to remember where I'm getting all these links from. I think you can look at this site. Some of these sites you got to pay for. I think this might be one of them. Anyway, I think Father Martin is squawking about this. All right, we're going to move on. And another fairly major story is, the LA Religious Education Conference is like a really big deal. It's the biggest one in the United States. I don't know about the world, but it's the biggest one in the United States. And LifeSite has an article about it, about how it, again, is dominating the conference. Okay, let's move on. All right, so here's something about the Pittsburgh Diocese. The local TV station is saying that they'll probably have to lay off about 20% of their employees because they're taking a financial hit. Well, I wish this would happen to a lot more dioceses. Maybe they start waking up here, And besides, it'll, things like this can move on. Maybe it needs to be 50%. Who knows? All right, let's move on. All right, so in case you missed it, John Henry Wilson, who's the managing editor of LifeSite News, is just starting a whole series of weekly videos on the Catholic Church, and it's probably going to be really well done. So if you haven't heard that, you could look them up on YouTube. I think it's called the John Henry Weston Show, and you could sign up or whatever you want to do. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, so here you have something. The German Bishops' Conference website is saying, that's Catholic _DE. People who have a private audience with Pope Francis are being asked ahead of time not to kneel and not to kiss his ring. All right, so, apparently this is something new. So, no one, I haven't seen anything where the Pope's saying this or Gisotti, the spokesman for the Vatican, is saying anything, at least up until this point. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, so Christine Niles of Church Militant, they've been following this story for quite a long time. So this is one of these Saginaw priests, Father Robert DeLand. He pleaded no contest to sexual assault of male teen. He's likely to get 2 to 5 years in prison. Okay, that's that. Okay, so here we have I can't remember this guy's name. Oh, Malone of Bishop of Buffalo, who's been in trouble before. So now he's returned a priest who had been caught twice with gay porn. Let's see, Father Robert Stolinsky has a history of using male pornography, but Bishop Richard Malone said allegations of child sexual abuse were unsubstantiated. Okay, well, how about with, males over 18? I don't know what's going on there. That's some LifeSite news, too. LifeSite Catholic. Okay, we'll move on. Oh, and in case you didn't hear, this was like last Friday. LifeSite News and another organization have been collecting signatures on a petition to try to stop Roger Mahony, who is retired cardinal, who in the past, years ago, got himself in all kinds of trouble. So he's one of the speakers at the L.A. Religious conference, so they were trying to stop him. Actually, he's addressing children. Amazing. Okay, well, we'll move on. Okay, so a couple of stories from the Associated Press religion page. The founder and all-female editorial board of the Vatican's women's magazine have quit after what they say was a Vatican campaign to discredit them and put them under the something, the little blurb here just ends right there. So that's in the Associated Press religion page. Here's one here we should read a little bit about. Let's see what's on here. A Roman Catholic in Pennsylvania
has agreed to pay $2 million to a man who was sexually abused as a child by a priest who made him say confession after the assaults. This is a defrocked priest, was sentenced to 2.5 to 14 years in prison after pleading guilty to the sexual assault of one boy and attempted sexual assault of another. Okay. Well, this guy's getting a big payout, that's for sure. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna. A couple of you might have noticed already here. I changed the prayer from the beginning towards to the end. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I just felt sort of moved to do that. I'm gonna put up a different prayer here for a while. Let's pray for those who are, let's just say pretty good Catholics who are just, thinking Pope Francis is like, like the best thing that ever happened to the church. So we need them to wake up and we need their conversion. So I'm going to put up, the prayer doesn't directly address that, but, I think, that's what my intention would be in putting it up. You could pray it for, whatever, just people in general. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.